Hello guys, how are we all doing? Welcome to Champions League Predictions Week 4. It's the fourth week of the Champions League group stages. There are some massive games to preview and predict in the Champions League involving some of the biggest teams in Europe. This is a new feature to the channel guys, so your support would be appreciated. Can we go for 700 likes on this one? Do make sure to hit the thumbs up button. It is free to do, so do hit the like button. 700 likes would be amazing, and if we can get that, we can do Champions League and Europa League predictions consistently. Let me know your thoughts on that down below. As well, before we get into the games, do make sure, of course, to subscribe. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, you can see we're very close to 45,000 subscribers, so do make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get predicting the Champions League Week 4 games. We're going to start with Tuesday night's games with Group E. We have Atletico Madrid versus Celtic. These two played a couple weeks ago at Celtic Park. It finished 2-2. Atletico Madrid coming from behind twice to draw that game. As you can see in this group, Celtic really need to get something. They probably need to win this game to have any chance of getting through to the knockout stages. They could still finish in third place in this group. They need to get something. They cannot afford to lose. Atletico Madrid are strong favourites with the bookmakers for this game, but I'm going to go for another 2-2 draw. Celtic need to get something from this game. They just won 3-0 away at Ross County in the Scottish Premiership at the weekend, and Atletico Madrid lost on Friday night. Atletico are favourites, but maybe Celtic can get something. They need to get something to keep their hopes of qualifying alive. 2-2. On to the next game in Group E, and we have Lazio versus Feyenoord. Both teams have a good chance of qualifying for the knockout stages. Feyenoord currently top of the group, and they did beat Lazio 3-1 a couple of weeks ago in the reverse fixture when they were at home. Lazio now have the home advantage. They've been doing okay in Serie A. They really need to get something here, Lazio. I'm going to go for a draw. This one's very even. Lazio 1, Feyenoord 1. This group is very tight. I think Lazio have a good chance of getting through. They might win this, but I'm going to go down the middle. A 1-1 draw for Lazio versus Feyenoord. On to Group F next, and it's the group of death. We have Borussia Dortmund taking on Newcastle. Newcastle United have had a pretty good start to the Champions League, drawing 0-0 at AC Milan and then crushing PSG 4-1 at St James's Park. But they did lose 1-0 at home to Borussia Dortmund and now need to get something in Germany to keep their hopes alive of getting through this group. It's not a must-win for Newcastle, it's more a must-not-lose. And Newcastle did get a great result in the Premier League at the weekend, beating Arsenal 1-0. Borussia Dortmund, on the other hand, they lost 4-0 to Bayern Munich, but Borussia Dortmund do come into this game as the bookmakers' favourites, probably because they've got the home advantage and they did win at St James's Park. Do you know what? I'm going to go for another draw here. I'm going to go Borussia Dortmund 2, Newcastle 2. It just keeps this group really, really close. Newcastle cannot afford to lose both games to Borussia Dortmund. And as for Borussia Dortmund, they don't want to hand 3 points back to Newcastle. I think this one will be a draw and both sides will move up to 5 points. 2-2. Next up, we have AC Milan versus Paris Saint-Germain. I think PSG might win this one. They are strong favourites with the bookmakers and they did beat AC Milan 3-0 back in Paris. AC Milan have the home advantage. They've been doing pretty well in Serie A, but I'm going to go AC Milan 1, PSG 2. I think PSG just squeezed through the 3 points here and it puts them on the verge of qualifying. PSG really need to win this one. As for AC Milan, they really need to get something to have any hopes of qualifying for the knockout stages of the Champions League. AC Milan need to win this because they haven't won yet, but I'm going 1-2. Next up then we have Red Star Belgrade versus RB Leipzig in Group F. This game is huge. Red Star Belgrade need to win this. They need to win this to have any hopes of qualifying for the knockout stages. RB Leipzig and Manchester City both look really, really strong. They both look like they're going to get to the knockout stages. RB Leipzig are the bookmakers' favourites, and I'm going to go Red Star Belgrade 1, RB Leipzig 2. Red Star need to get something, but I think RB Leipzig are going through to the knockout stages. I think RB Leipzig probably finished second in this group. They did lose at the weekend in the Bundesliga, but I do think RB Leipzig go back to winning ways here. I'm going to go for RB Leipzig to win this game 2-1. Next up then we go to the Etihad for Manchester City versus Young Boys. Manchester City winning 6-1 against AFC Bournemouth in the Premier League at the weekend. And if they win this game in midweek, which they are strong favourites to do so, then they are going through, and I do think they win this group. I think it's going to be pretty convincing. It was 3-1 when Young Boys were at home. I'm going to go for Manchester City 4, Young Young Boys 0. I think Manchester City are cruising through this one. They're trying to keep up their defence of the Champions League, and I think they smash Young Boys here. Young Boys, I don't think they're getting through this group. Young Boys could get to the Europa League if they beat Red Star Belgrade in their game against them, but I think Manchester City destroy them here, 4-0. Next up we have Shakhtar Donetsk versus Barcelona. Barcelona are strong favourites to win this one. They did win 2-1 at home to Shakhtar Donetsk back at the Nou Camp. I think they're going to win 3-1 this time. Barcelona are on the verge of qualifying for the knockout stages, and I also think Barcelona win this group. Shakhtar Donetsk, I think, can put up a good fight here, and I do think they're going to get a goal, but I think Barcelona are too strong. Shakhtar could still get through this group in second place. It's going to be interesting. Next then is FC Porto versus Royal Antwerp. This was a 4-1 win for Porto in the reverse fixture a few weeks ago. And FC Porto really need to make sure they win this game to stretch their legs over Shakhtar to securing second place. I'm going to go FC Porto 2, Royal Antwerp 0. Royal Antwerp have not picked up any points so far. I think this will be quite easy for FC Porto. Next up then, we move on to Group A, where we've got Bayern Munich versus Galatasaray. I find this group very interesting. What does look clear is Bayern Munich are going to win this group. They won 3-1 back in Turkey when they went away to Galatasaray. I think they're going to win this game 4-1. I think Galatasaray could get second place in this group. They got that massive win at Old Trafford, but Bayern Munich are too strong. As I say, they beat Borussia Dortmund 4-0 in the Bundesliga at the weekend. I think Bayern Munich score 4 again, but I'm going to go 4-1. Bayern Munich are strong favourites for this one, and they're actually the second favourites to win the Champions League outright. Bayern Munich are going to win this one convincingly. They are the strong favourites. Staying in Group A, we go to FC Copenhagen versus Manchester United. This game is a big one. Other than Bayern Munich, it's quite close in this group, and if FC Copenhagen can beat Manchester United, they'll keep alive their hopes of getting through in second place, even though it seems quite unlikely after just picking up 1 point from their first 3 games. FC Copenhagen did play quite well at Old Trafford a few weeks ago. If it wasn't for a last-minute Onana penalty save, then they obviously would have got a draw in that game. Manchester United have not been convincing this season, but they do seem to just find a way of getting the 3 points here and there. They won 1-0 at Fulham in the Premier League at the weekend due to a last-minute goal from Bruno Fernandes, and I could see this being close, but I do think Manchester United just sneak the win. I'm going to go FC Copenhagen 1, Manchester United 2. Manchester United are also strong favourites to win this game. I don't think it'll be easy, but I do think Manchester United win, and that would put them up to second unless Galatasaray beat Bayern Munich in their game at the Allianz. On to Group B next, and we've got Arsenal versus Sevilla. Arsenal are looking pretty strong. They look like they're going to get through this group with 2 wins in their first 3 games, and they did win 2-1 away at Sevilla a few weeks ago. I'm going to go for Arsenal to win this game 3-1. I know Arsenal lost in the weekend away at Newcastle, but Newcastle are Newcastle. They're a very good team. I do think Arsenal bounce back here. I still think they've got a decent chance of competing for the title in the Premier League, but I do think Arsenal should also really concentrate on the Champions League. They're already out of the Carabao Cup, and in the Champions League they've got a very good chance of qualifying as the group winners, which will give them a so-called easier fixture in the knockout stages. So I'm going to go for Arsenal to win this game 3-1 over Sevilla in Group B. The other game in Group B is PSV versus Lyon. This is a big game. Both teams really could do with a result. PSV haven't picked up a Champions League win yet, but they have got 2 draws and they're only 3 points behind second place. And now they're at home for this game. I think they could win it. It was a 1-1 draw when Lyon were the home team, and I think with PSV being at home this time, knowing that they need to win, they're going to win. I think it'll be close. PSV are favourites to win this one, but I do think it'll be close. I'm going to go PSV 3, Lyon 2. I think this will be a really close game, and if PSV do win, it really opens the group up. Anyone could get through this group yet. Share your thoughts on Group B down in the comments. On to Group C next, and we've got Napoli versus Union Berlin. Union Berlin are just struggling to get any points, and it does look like they're heading out of this competition very early. It looks like they could be heading out this week, because I think Napoli win this game. Napoli are already on 6 points. They really need to win this game now they're at home. They did win 1-0 away in Berlin, and I'm going to go Napoli to win this game 3-1. Napoli are the strong favourites to win this game. I think Napoli will probably get through in second place As for Union Berlin, they're really struggling in the Bundesliga and they're really struggling in the Champions League. Next up then, Real Madrid versus Sporting Braga. I think this one's going to be quite convincing. It was just a 2-1 win for Real Madrid when they were away in this fixture a few weeks ago, but I think Real Madrid win this game 3-0. I think it'd be convincing. Real Madrid are actually the third favourites to win the Champions League after Manchester City and then after Bayern Munich. Real Madrid win this game and Real Madrid win this group for me. Real Madrid 3-0. They're a very strong team. Finally then, we go to Group D. It's Real Sociedad versus Benfica next. Real Sociedad are strong favourites to win this game and get through the group. A win for them here will virtually put them through depending on the other game. Benfica, they are really struggling. Bottom of the group with 0 points. They need to get something here. Really, they need to win this game, but I don't think they will. I think Real Sociedad are going to win. As I say, they're the strong favourites to win this game. Sociedad 2, Benfica 0. I think Real Sociedad are getting through this group. I wouldn't be surprised if Real Sociedad win this group. They did win this fixture 1-0 away a few weeks ago. I'm going for them to win 2-0. Now they're the home team. Finally then, we have Red Bull Salzburg versus Inter Milan. Red Bull Salzburg have been doing pretty well in the Austrian league this season. Inter Milan are obviously a strong team and Inter Milan have 7 points. Red Bull Salzburg really need to win this game. They cannot afford to lose this game. Inter Milan did win this fixture 2-1 when they were the home team. I think it'd be close now that they're the away team. I'm going to go for a really entertaining game. 3-3. Inter Milan are the favourites to win this game, and if they win and Sociedad win, they are both heading to the knockout stages. It'll be interesting to see who wins this group, but I think this will be a draw. 3-3. So then everyone, that wraps up my Champions League predictions for Game Week 4. There are some really big fixtures coming. Do feel free to share your predictions down below. Let me know who you think is going to win each group and what you think the scores are going to be in midweek. If you've enjoyed this video, please do make sure to drop a like. It is free to do, and we're going for 700 likes on this video. It's free to subscribe as well, so do make sure to subscribe and let me know if you'd like to see Champions League and Europa League predictions more regularly. Thank you for your great support, guys. I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.